Hi, Sam is asking, when food is not fully digested in the stomach, can it disturb the small intestine? Hi Sam, thanks for asking. Food is not supposed to be fully digested in the stomach. It's impossible. The path the food follows when we eat is, of course, mouth, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small intestine, and colon. Digestion starts in our mouth because when we chew, we facilitate the job of the other organs. Saliva also contains amylase enzymes that start to break down carbs at a limited extent. Then the food passes through the esophagus and gets in the stomach. The stomach job is mainly to attack the food with the acid, and which makes it more vulnerable to the action of the digestive enzymes that will happen after the stomach. And the stomach also produces pepsin, which is a proteolytic enzyme. It means it's an enzyme that starts to digest protein in an acidic environment because the stomach pH is low, and also produces the stomach also produces intrinsic factor, which is important to help the absorption of vitamin B12 in the small intestine. After the stomach, when the food gets in the duodenum is the very first tract. It's kind of a pre-small intestine, let's say, and it's very important. In the duodenum, um, also the pancreas and the liver release certain molecules. These are key factors in digestion. So pancreas is usually known for its endocrine function, mainly for the production of insulin for glucose metabolism. However, the pancreas is not only an endocrine organ. So there are certain cells on the pancreas, the Langerhans cells, which produce insulin, which is released in the bloodstream to metabolize the glucose spikes. That's another story. But pancreas has also an exocrine part, which is important for digestion. So from this area of the pancreas, in this area of the pancreas, digestive enzymes are produced. These are fundamental for digestion. What do they do? The nutrients contained in food, mainly the macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, are complex molecules, like kind of chains made of many rings. These long chains, these complex molecules, cannot be absorbed by our intestine. So they need to be broken down. It's called hydrolysis. It's as if a chain needs to be broken and all the single rings of the chain need to be separated, and then they can be absorbed. Digestive enzymes, that's exactly what they do. They separate the bonds between molecules, between the simple molecules that make the complex molecules, which are protein, carbs, and fats. So the pancreas produces enzymes for this job. And these enzymes are released in the digestive tract in the duodenum, right after the stomach. That's where the food meets the digestive enzymes coming from the pancreas and gets blended with them. And then throughout starting from the duodenum and throughout the small intestine, the macromolecules contained in the food gets hydrolyzed, broken down by the digestive enzymes, and as long as the single molecules gets released, hydrolyzed from the complex chains, they get absorbed. Also, there is another duct releasing stuff in the duodenum. It comes from the liver and it releases bile salts, which are necessary for fats digestion, because as you know, fats cannot be dissolved in water. If you mix oil and water, they separate. So without the bile salts, the fats that we eat would tend to aggregate together and stay separated by the hydrosoluble phase of the food that we ate. So the digestive enzymes that are able to broken down the complex molecules containing fats so that the fatty acids of these molecules can be absorbed, the digestive enzymes wouldn't be able to fully attack the fats. They would only attack them superficially. So the bile salts create like a kind of an emulsion which helps the fats to be solubilized in watery material. It makes them kind of hydrosoluble. In this way, a fine emulsion is formed, and the digestive enzymes for fats, which are called lipase enzymes, can also attack fats and separate the fatty acids from the glycerol molecule, because dietary fats are composed of glycerol and fatty acids. And then the small intestine can start to absorb all these single molecules that come from protein, which are the amino acids, from carbs, which are the monosaccharides, and from fats, which are the fatty acids. So no, stomach cannot fully digest food, and it's normal for the small intestine to get undigested or partially undigested food and do most of the job in absorbing it. The colon is the last tract of the intestine, which mainly receives undigestible materials such as fibers, which also one could ask, if we cannot digest them, are they useless? Not at all. We need them to feed the microbial flora, the good bacteria and microorganisms that we have in our colon that help our heart, our brain, our immune system. It's a very complex, it's a teamwork. And also to fibers clean our intestine from toxins, but this is another story. There are a lot of functions of undigestible materials. So I hope this helps to clarify your doubt. Thank you again, and all the best.